Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my 15 and pregnant story. This video might be a little long, but I'm going to break things down so it's not so long. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you like it, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell button for more. So how I found out I was pregnant was I came home from my boyfriend's house and I used the restroom and I spotted. If you guys don't know what spotted means, it means a little bit of blood. And I told my grandma and she automatically said I was pregnant, and I was like, no, I'm not. So she went out and bought me a couple tests and they came out invalid. If you guys don't know what invalid means, sometimes it has like a top line instead of the negative bottom line, or sometimes it's just completely blank, and mine was completely blank. So I was getting really nervous and scared, oh my god, what if? So I asked my grandma if she can take me to go buy some more just to make sure. I kept telling her there's no way I'm pregnant, we're always safe and stuff, you know. So she went down and bought me clear blue pregnancy test, and I took those ones, and one of them came out faint positive. Faint positive is it looks like it's negative, but there's a little line right making it positive, you could barely see it, but it's there. So the next day I took another one and it was clearly positive. So I called my boyfriend and I was like, is there a way I can be pregnant? He's all, yes, because I still didn't believe the test. He said yes, it's possible I could be pregnant. So I went to his house and I showed him the test. I was like, so I'm pregnant, legitimately I'm pregnant. And he was like he paused for a minute and then just hugged me. I kind of sat there and hugged him too. We didn't really know what to do. We were kind of scared. When I told my dad, he kind of already knew from how I was acting, I guess. That's what he told me. Because I went outside to go tell him, because he was already sitting outside. And I went up to him, and my grandma was all, you need to tell him. And I was like, I'm not ready to tell him. I don't want to tell anybody yet. And she's like, you need to tell him. So I said, Dad, and he said, I already know. And I was like, how? He said, just how you've been acting, I already know. So then I called my mom and I told her, I said, Mom, I took a test. And she said, what kind of test? I was like, well, I took a test and it came out positive. And she said, a pregnancy test? And I said, yes. And she said, she wasn't really mad, but she wasn't happy. She was in between. All she said was, really? That's all she really said. So she didn't really have an emotion because she didn't really know what to think, but I don't know, that was just her reaction. So I went down to the Women's Health Center to make sure that I was 100% pregnant, because I didn't want to open out to everybody and be like, hey, I'm pregnant, and I'm actually not, because there is a 50-50 chance that it could be a false negative, which means you could have a positive pregnancy test, but it's not actually positive. So I went to the Women's Hope Center, and they took a test for me, and they came back they didn't have any kind of reaction on their face, so I didn't know if it was positive or negative. And they came back and they handed me the test and they said, you're pregnant. And they asked me if I wanted to do any kind of options, like abortion, adoption, keep it. And I said, I don't know yet. I had to go over it with my boyfriend, because it's not just my decision. But him and I both don't believe in abortion. So I told him I want to keep it, and he agreed. So we told everybody we're keeping the baby. We didn't care what anybody said. We were keeping the baby. And everyone was supportive. Everyone helped out. And everyone did everything. So I wanted to do a gender reveal, but I ended up doing it wrong, but we still did it. And the time we found out the gender was my dad's ex-girlfriend went with us, and my boyfriend's mother went with us, and they were in the ultrasound room. They were there through most of the ultrasound until we found the gender. And then I asked them to leave so only my boyfriend and I would know the gender. And she told us, and we were really excited to find out it was a girl. So what we did was we took pink paint, put it over my belly, and like made like a heart like this, and we opened it up and it was a girl. And everyone was excited, you know how that works. And then I had my baby shower. Most of my family came and everything. And it was a pretty good baby shower. It took me 2 hours to open up presents for her. I got everything I needed. The baby shower really helped like a lot. Like I still use everything that I got from the baby shower. That's how much stuff I got. A couple weeks after my baby shower, I ended up in the hospital because my doctor just kept telling me that my stomach was small because me and my boyfriend are teenagers and we're both small, so we're gonna have a small baby. All throughout my pregnancy, that's what he was telling me. He kept measuring my belly, rechecking my due date to see if it was right, and everything was right. And he kept measuring my belly, and he was like, "Your belly is just not growing." So I look like I just gained a few pounds from eating or something. And then my finally 30-week checkup, he went and checked everything again, made me take a urine test, blood test, everything. And then he came back and told me, he didn't even really say anything. He said, "You need to go up to Banner Desert right now. You need to go to the hospital right now." I didn't really know what was going on or anything, so we went up there. I was kind of scared. I cried all the way there. And they checked me into the hospital. They did everything. They took my blood temperature. They took my blood, whatever. And my blood pressure was so high. Like, risky high. So they came in and they told me I had mild preeclampsia. But then they came back in and told me I have high-risk preeclampsia. If you guys don't know what preeclampsia is, it's where your body is, like, not ready. So, basically, my body was killing both me and the baby. But we were trying to keep her inside me because the baby is healthier inside. Because I was 30 weeks, but she was measuring 24. So they tried to keep her inside me for as long as possible so she can grow and try to get her breathing, like practicing her breathing. And then they were going to take her out or see if I would go into labor myself. So about like a couple days went by and it just kept getting worse for both her and I. Like every time they would try to put an IV in me, they'd blow my veins. Like nothing was working. The medicine they gave me really bad migraines, and I had to have lights off, no one talking or anything. Like I just couldn't do it. And then finally January 22nd, I was feeling a little bit better. Like my headache was going away, like my IV was feeling a lot better because it was like burning my arm. I had to have someone sit there and rub my arm the whole time. So January 22nd, they went in to see an ultrasound to see how she was doing and if she was practicing her breathing. And my doctor came in and like I couldn't really understand him because he speaks like a different language, but he was trying to speak English, but I just couldn't understand him. And the ultrasound lady was like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I said, "No, I have no idea," because they started wheeling me out of the room after we did like a 20-minute ultrasound. They started wheeling me out into like 3 different rooms. and I had no idea what was going on, and the ultrasound lady is like, you're having your baby, like, we're cutting her out of you right now. If we don't, both you and her are gonna die. So I was freaking out, screaming for my boyfriend, asking him to please wait, please wait. Like, I was asking where my family was. I was like terrified. I didn't know what to do. She had me spread my arms across the table, and they put a mask over my face and told me to take 3 deep breaths. I took 2 and remember nothing. It took me 2 days to finally remember her birth weight, the time she was born, and the day. Like, everyone keeps, still to this day, I have troubles remembering what happened. And so my daughter was born 2 pounds 1 ounce, and immediately took to the NICU, which is the NICU. They take in early babies, or if anything's wrong with babies, that's where they take them. They finally found my boyfriend and took him with her as soon as she was born. They like both went to the NICU, and I was in the recovery. Everyone, my whole family came and saw me, and I was on all kinds of medicines. So when they first took me, I was still in the bed. They first took me to go see her. I had no reaction to her. Like, I didn't know how to feel, like how to react. I just kind of like looked at her like, she's here already. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I had no emotion at all. And like, I didn't want to leave. Like, I just wanted to stay right next to her to try to get that motherly bond, but I didn't get it quite yet. So she spent sorry, I forgot to tell you guys, I had to get an emergency C-section. And she spent a month and a half in the hospital, and I spent, I think, 3 or 4 days in the hospital recovering from my C-section. And it was literally so bad. Like, the first time they had me stand up to try to walk, I almost passed out on the nurses because they were trying to get me to go to the bathroom. And like, I was like falling all over the nurses, and like everything was going black. I was seeing nothing but spots. Everything was dizzy. Like, I didn't know what to do. And they finally put me back in my bed, and like, I was breathing so heavily, like I could not breathe. And then they would press on my stomach, and it hurt so bad. Like, I can't even explain it. But I finally got to go home. I cried that day because I really didn't want to leave her. But we had to go and visit her every day. I think we only missed like 2 days of seeing her. But she recovered good. She had oxygen. She had the food tube down her nose. She had IVs. She was in the warmer. But like a couple days after she was born, they lowered her oxygen because she was starting to breathe on her own. She was starting to take the bottle good, so she recovered really good. I recovered very well, and now my baby is very healthy. She's 5 months now, and we're both doing really good. This is my little sleeping baby. So I hope you guys really liked this video. I'm sorry it's so long, but there was just so much to tell. I hope you guys really, really liked it. Like, I tried not to cry. I don't know if you guys heard it in my voice, but I really tried. So make sure you subscribe and like this video. I'm pretty sure I already said that, but do it twice. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.